Hi everybody, my name is Paige. Welcome to the yoga page. Thank you so much for joining me for class today. We've got a 60-minute Vinyasa flow for the hips. And if you enjoy practicing with music, I'll have a link in the description. As far as props go, if you have access to a block or a folded blanket, that could really come in handy for today. But if not, you can always use a tissue box or a book, or even a really fluffy pillow could really come in handy. Anyway, we will go ahead and get started. We are going to begin in child's pose. Coming to the middle of your mat. Big toes come to touch. Knees can come hips width distance or even wider. Find a distance that feels comfortable for you today. And we'll walk the hands out long. Forehead kisses the earth. Option to let the elbows rest down on the earth, or pressing into the hands, sinking the hips deeper towards the heels. Settling into the breath. Take deep inhales through the nose, expanding through the rib cage. And as you exhale, pull the belly button in towards the spine, pressing all the air out. Notice if you can soften into the shoulders or in the jaw. We'll take 2 more full rounds of breath. After your final exhale, press up onto all fours, coming into tabletop position. Hands rest underneath the shoulders, knees rest underneath the hips. If you have quite sensitive wrists here, you might place a folded blanket underneath the palms of the hands, or you can walk your hands a step forward. And we'll move through a few cat-cows here. Inhaling as you drop your belly, lift your gaze, open through the collarbones. Exhaling, press through the hands, curl through the spine, let the chin drop in towards the chest. Inhaling to drop the belly for cow pose. Exhaling, pressing through the hands, curling through the spine for cat. Moving with your own breath. Option to take any other organic movements that might feel good today. Either rolling through the spine, you might press back into child's pose and roll through to upward facing dog. Just listening to your body and what it needs today. Once your spine feels nice and warm, We'll come back to a neutral tabletop. Step your left knee in towards the midline for balance, and we'll extend the right leg out long, hovering above the earth at about hips height. You can either point through the toes or flex the foot, up to you. And then we'll come onto the left fingertips. Find a spot to steady your gaze, and when you feel nice and steady, extend the left fingertips forward. Inhale, reach through the fingers and the toes. Exhale, hug left elbow in towards right knee. Inhale to extend. Exhale, hugging the elbow in towards the knee. Chin comes in towards the chest. Inhale to expand. Exhale, hugging in. Inhaling to expand. And exhale, hugging it all in. One last time, we'll extend through the fingertips and the toes. This time, dropping the left hand back underneath the left shoulder. And we'll bend the right knee, bringing the right knee right next to the left. We're hovering just off the mat here. And then we'll inhale, bring the right knee out to the right for fire hydrant pose. Exhale to drop the right knee back in line with the left. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower one last time. When you're finished the last round, we'll drop the right knee where it's at and switch sides. Sending the left leg out behind us. You might adjust the hands if you need. And then we'll come up onto the right fingertips. Find a spot to steady your gaze. And then extend through the right hand. Right arm reaches out long. Inhale to reach through the fingertips and the toes. Exhale, right elbow hugs in towards left knee. Inhale to extend. And exhale, hugging it all in. Chin drops in towards the chest. Inhale to reach out long, reach through the fingers and the toes. Exhale, hug it all in. Inhaling to reach. And exhale, crunch it in towards the midline. Inhale, reach out long. We'll drop the right hand underneath the right shoulder. Bend through the left knee, bring the left knee right next to the right, hovering just above the mat. And then we'll take fire hydrant, lifting the left knee in line with the left hip. Exhale to drop back in towards the middle. Inhale to lift. Exhale to drop. Staying active through the shoulders by pressing into the hands and staying nice and long through the spine. One last time, we'll inhale to lift. And exhale, we'll drop the left knee back underneath the left hip, coming back into your tabletop. We'll tuck the toes and lift the hips to find downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a moment here to walk your dog, bending through one knee and then the other. And maybe take a second to find your correct alignment. So you can play with walking your hands as wide as the mat. You can walk your feet as wide as the mat, bend your knees. You might walk your hands a little bit closer. Just taking a moment here to play in your downward facing dog. And you might find, oh, maybe I like having my hands wider. Maybe It feels really nice on my hamstrings to walk my feet a little bit further away. We'll find stillness wherever you're at. And then on your next inhale, we'll lift the right leg for 3-point. And exhale, step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. You might take a couple steps to get there. Take your time. And then we'll lower the back knee. Hands rest underneath the shoulders on the inside of the right foot. And we're going to find lizard lunge. So you can either keep the hands on the mat, or if you are still working on space in the hips, you might use a block to lift the earth up to you. And you can either stay here, or you might lower onto the forearms. Either lowering the forearms onto a block, or if you have a lot of space in the hips, you might lower the forearms all the way down to the mat. Notice the quality of your breath and see if maybe you come out one step. Is the quality of your breath better here? Just staying wherever you can keep a good inhale and exhale. Wherever you're at, we'll lift back onto the hands, tuck your left toes and lift the left knee. And we're going to step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Toes face out, heels face in. And we'll bend through the knees, lowering the hips down towards the heels. Hands come into heart center and elbows press into the inside of each knee for Malasana Yogi Squat. If your heels are lifted, that is totally okay. Or you might even keep your hips lifted. If you have a block, you can sit down onto a block. Making this pose work for your body and where it's at today. Wherever you're at, we'll bring the fingertips to the mat in front of us. And then inhale, lift the hips for forward fold. You can turn the toes to face forward if that feels better. And exhale, turn the toes to face out, drop the hips down towards the heels, Malasana. Inhale to lift the hips, toes face forward. Exhale, turn the toes, drop the hips for Yogi Squat. Inhale to lift. And exhale, coming back into your Malasana. Hands come to heart center, pressing the knees to the outside. We'll bring the fingertips back to the mat in front of us. Lift through the hips. Step the right foot all the way to the back, keeping the left foot where it's at. And we'll lower the back knee onto the mat for lizard lunge on the left. Either staying lifted on the hands, using a block to lift the earth up to you, or maybe coming onto the forearms. We'll stay here for 3 to 4 rounds of breath. After your last exhale, coming back onto the hands, feet were lowered on the forearms. We'll plant the palms, tuck the back toes, and we'll step the right foot all the way to the top of the mat. Heel toe your feet back underneath the hips for forward fold. Inhaling, taking a slow roll all the way to stand. Letting your shoulders and head be the last to lift. Once here, ground down through the heels and the tailbone. Lighten through the shoulders and the crown of the head. And then soften through the shoulders. Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, arms circle up overhead, gaze can follow. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold, plant the palms, step back to your plank. In your plank, press through your hands, reach the heels towards the back of the mat, hug your low ribs in. Gaze is down and just slightly forward. Either keep your knees lifted here or lower them to the ground. We'll hug the elbows in towards the side body, lowering all the way down to the belly. Inhale, head and chest lift, baby cobra. Exhale to lower. Tuck the toes, press back through your plank or your tabletop. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze in between the hands, step, jump, or walk to the top of the mat. Feet come hips distance. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Roll to stand, arms circle overhead. Palms come to touch, and hands meet at heart center. Settle back into your breath if you've lost it. From here, bend the knees, send the hips down and back, arms lift overhead, Utkatasana, chair pose. Activating through the glutes by pressing into the feet. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold, plant the palms, step back to plank. Keep your knees lifted or lower them, lowering all the way down to the belly or halfway. Lifting into baby cobra or upward facing dog. And wherever you're at, pressing back through your plank or tabletop and lifting the hips to find downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts, 3-point. Exhale, step the right foot in between the hands. Pivot onto the back foot, coming to a 45-degree angle, and arms lift up overhead for warrior one. Inhale, reach through the fingertips. Exhale, fold forward, plant the palms, step back to your plank, and move through your chaturanga or skip it. Always option to rest in child's pose. We'll meet in downward facing dog. On your next inhale, left leg lifts, 3-point. Exhale, left knee hugs in towards the nose. We'll step the left foot in between the hands. Come to a 45-degree angle with the back foot. And inhale, lift the arms up overhead for warrior one. Inhale, press through the front foot, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold forward, frame the foot, plant the palms, step back to plank, and move through your vinyasa or skip it. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Taking a moment to reset the breath. Taking deep inhales through the nose. And exhale, let it go through the mouth. Inhale, gaze between the hands. Step, walk, or jump to the top of the mat. Feet come hips width distance. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Send the hips down and back. Arms lift up overhead for chair pose. On your next inhale, straighten the legs, come to stand. Palms meet at heart center for Tadasana. If your eyes are closed, go ahead and gently blink them open. You can keep your hands at your heart or bring them to the hips for balance. We'll send the weight into the left foot, coming up onto the right toes. You can either find tree pose here, bringing the inside of the right heel to the inside of the left ankle, or you can lift your right knee in towards your chest and then use your hands to assist you, bringing the right foot, the sole of the right foot, to the inside of the left thigh. Ground down through the standing foot, hugging the left hip in. And then you can bring your hands to your heart, finding a spot to steady the gaze. Option to stay here or challenge your balance. Lift your arms up overhead. Soften through the shoulders and the jaw. If your arms are lifted, we'll bring them back through heart center and then down to the hips. We'll hug the right knee in towards the chest. And then keeping a steady gaze, send the right foot all the way to the back of the mat, grounding down through the right foot to find warrior two. So right foot is parallel with the back edge of the mat. Find heel to heel or heel to arch alignment. Arms come out to a T, reach through the fingertips. Inhale, straighten through the front leg, reach the fingers up towards the sky. Exhale, settling back into warrior two. Inhale, to straighten and lift through the fingers. Exhale, bending through the front knee, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach the fingers towards the sky. Exhale, warrior two. Settling in here, softening into your breath. Let your shoulders melt away from the ears. Actively pressing into both feet. Inhale, reverse your warrior, left fingers up towards the sky, right arm reaches down the back leg. Exhale, find your side angle. Left elbow to left knee, right arm reaches up and overhead. Press into the left forearm, open out through the right shoulder. Option to stay here or move deeper. Bringing the left fingertips to the inside of the left foot. And you might even find a bind. Reaching the right arm behind the hip. Left arm reaches under the left thigh. And then you might meet the fingers behind your hip. Staying active through the left glute by pressing into your front foot. If you have a bind, gently release. We'll move back through your warrior two. Straighten through the front leg, turn the left toes to face the long edge of the mat. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Toes face slightly in, heels face slightly out. Hands can rest either on a block in front of you, or if they come down to the earth, you can rest them underneath the shoulders. Using your inhales and exhales to lengthen and soften. Inhale, lift up halfway, coming onto the fingertips. And we'll bend through the right knee. You can walk the hands over towards the right foot for a side lunge. Inhale, we'll press through the middle. And then switch sides, bending through the left knee, straightening out through the right leg. Hands can walk over towards the left. And we'll just flow side to side here. Inhaling, moving through the middle. Exhaling, bending through one knee, straightening through the other. And switching sides. Moving one more time on each side. We'll meet back in the center. And then slowly inhale, roll all the way to stand. We'll turn the left toes to face the front edge of the mat. Arms come out to a T. Hinge forward over your left hip, reaching through the left middle finger. As soon as you've reached as far as you feel like you can go, you'll drop the left hand to the left shin. It might come down to the ankle or the thigh. Right fingers reach up towards the ceiling. Gaze can be straight ahead or up towards the right fingertips. Stay active through both legs by pressing into the feet. And use this pressing of the feet to maybe lighten onto the bottom hand. Or maybe lighten off of the bottom hand. We'll bend through the front knee, bringing both hands to frame the front foot, pivoting onto the back toes. Plant your palms, step back to plank, and then move through your flow or take a rest in child's pose. Meeting in downward facing dog whenever you're ready. Inhale, gaze in between the hands. Step walk or jump to the top of the mat. Feet come hips distance. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Roll to stand, arms circle up overhead. Palms meet in the middle. And down to heart center. Inhaling, rooting through the heels and the tailbone. And open through the collarbones. See if you can find length through the spine. If your eyes are closed, blink them open. We'll bring the hands to the hips. Send the weight into your right foot, coming onto the left toes. You can take tree pose here, bringing the left heel to the inside of the right ankle. Or you can lift the right knee in towards the chest. And then use your hands to assist you, bringing the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. You might wobble. That's okay. Come back into the pose just whenever you're ready. And then hands come to heart center. Ground down through your standing foot, hugging your right hip in. You can keep your hands at heart center, or you might grow your branches, reaching the fingers up towards the sky. Wherever your hands are at, we'll meet with them on the hips. Hug the left knee in towards the chest. Find a spot to steady the gaze, and we'll send the left foot all the way to the back of the mat for warrior two. Left foot comes parallel with the back edge of the mat. Arms come out to a T. Find heel to heel or heel to arch alignment. And checking to make sure right knee stays stacked over right ankle. Inhale, straighten through the front leg. Reach the fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, bending through the front knee for warrior two. Inhale to straighten and lift. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale, settling into your warrior two. Soften through the shoulders and the jaw. Reach through the fingertips and press into both feet. Find a lightness from the torso up and a grounding from the hips down. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Right fingertips reach towards the sky. Left arm reaches down and back the back leg. Exhale, moving through warrior two to find side angle. Right elbow to right knee, left arm up and overhead. Press into the right forearm, open out through the left shoulder. Option to stay here or move deeper. Bringing the right fingertips to the inside of the right foot or even a block. And then you might take a bind or just stay here. Maybe you smile wherever you're at. Staying active through that right glute by pressing into your front foot. If you have a bind, gently release. Move back through your warrior two, straighten through the front leg, turn the right toes to face the long edge of the mat. This time we'll interlace the hands behind the back. Reach the fist down through the floor, open through the chest, and exhale, hinge forward, reaching the fist up towards the sky. Hug your shoulders away from your ears. If you have a bind, keep the fingers interlaced. Reach the fists down towards the low back or the tailbone. And once your thumbs are touching your sacrum, you can release the bind, bringing the hands to the mat in front of you. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And we'll move through side lunge again. So bend into your left knee. Walk your hands over to the left. You can face your left toes out about 45 degrees. And you can stay here or move into full skandasana, sending the hips down towards the left heel, pivoting on the right heel, and then your right toes reach towards the sky. If your left heel comes off the mat, that's totally fine. You can stay here or reach your left arm to the inside of the left knee and then open out through the right. We'll bring the right arm down if it's lifted. Press into the left leg, coming back through that wide-legged forward fold. And then we'll bend through the right knee, straighten through the left leg. You can walk your hands over towards the right. Stay in this low lunge or side lunge, or send your hips down towards the heel. Turn the left toes to face the ceiling. And then option to open out through the right hand, bringing it to the inside of the right knee. Opening out, reaching the left fingertips towards the sky. We'll bring the left hand down to the mat. Straighten through that right leg, moving back through that wide-legged forward fold. And then on your next inhale, we'll roll all the way to stand. Turn the right toes to face the front edge of the mat. Arms come out to a T. And we'll hinge over your right hip, reaching through the right middle finger. Once you've reached as far as you can go, drop the right hand down towards the right shin. Left arm reaches up and overhead. Ground down through all four corners of the front foot. Maybe lifting a little bit lighter on that bottom hand. Gaze is out over the left fingertips, or you can look down to your right big toe. Whatever feels best on your neck. Whenever you're ready, we'll bend through the front knee, frame the front foot, pivot onto the back heel, plant the palms, step back to plank, and move through your final vinyasa or skip it. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Taking a moment to steady the breath. On your next inhale, we'll lift the right leg, 3-point. And then exhale, bring the right knee behind the right wrist. And then we'll drop the right shin all the way down to the mat, lowering onto that back knee. You can walk your back leg back a little bit, coming onto your fingertips, pressing into your front shin. Inhale, lifting a little bit lighter here. You might walk your fingers a little bit closer to your hips. And then exhale, you can walk your hands forward, hinging over that front leg, letting the head hang heavy for pigeon pose. If you're on your forearms, we'll come back onto the hands, and then we'll lower onto that right hip, sending your left leg forward and around. And we're going to stack the left knee on top of the right. If you have pretty tight hips and this is not feeling great for you, you can straighten out through the bottom leg, leaving the left knee stacked on top of the right. So coming into your comfortable pigeon here, cow face pose. We'll bring the left fingertips behind the back. Inhale, reach the right arm up and towards the ceiling. And then exhale, twisting to the left. Bringing the outside of the right hand or the right arm to the outside of your left leg. Had to think about it there for a second. Inhaling to lift and lengthen through the spine. And exhaling, you might deepen the twist. We'll move back through the center, grabbing the tops of each foot. Inhaling, lifting through the crown of the head. And then exhale, folding forward. Finding a forward fold. Gomukhasana, cow face pose. Prioritizing your breath in any posture that you're in. So if you feel like you're having a hard time breathing, coming out of it a little bit. Stretching the hips can be quite intense, so taking extra special attention to take care of the body. Wherever you're at, we'll walk the hands back in towards the knees, unravel the legs, bring the soles of the feet together, knees come wide for Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. You can bring the hands to the ankles or around the toes. Option to stay right here or hinge forward, hugging the belly button towards the feet. If you're folded forward, we'll sit back upright. And we're going to move through our tabletop to transition to the other side. So however you'd like to get there, sending the knees to one side, coming back through your tabletop, hands under the shoulders, knees under the wrist, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Maybe pedal out quickly here. And then on your next inhale, we'll lift the left leg, 3-point. Exhale, left knee comes behind the left wrist. We'll settle the left shin onto the mat. Walk your right leg back a little bit. And then come up onto the fingertips, press into your front shin, and you can walk your hands back towards your hips. Inhale, finding a lightening through the spine. Exhale, folding forward. You might bring the forearms onto a block or to the earth in front of you. And settling in here for 3 to 5 rounds of breath. If you're folded forward, walk your hands back towards the hips. Send the weight into your left glute. Wrap the right arm forward and around. We're going to come into cow face pose. So bringing the right knee on top of the left, straightening out through the bottom leg if you have quite tight hips. And then we'll bring the right hand onto the fingertips behind us. Inhale, lift the left hand up towards the sky. And exhale, twist to the right. Bringing the outside of the left hand to the right knee. Inhaling to lift and lengthen through the spine. And exhaling, twisting a little bit deeper. We'll come back through center. You can grab the top of each foot. Inhale, lift through the crown of the head. And exhale, hinging forward. You can walk the hands forward, maybe coming onto the forearms, and then letting the head hang heavy. If you're folded forward, you'll walk your hands back towards the hips. Unravel the legs. Bring the soles of the feet to the mat in front of you. And we'll roll all the way down onto the back. If you have a block, you might grab it so that it's within arm's reach. Soles of the feet come to the mat. Knees are bent, arms reach down by the sides. Inhale, press into the hands, hug the low belly in, press into the feet, reaching the hips up towards the sky. Chin moves away from the chest. Inner thighs hug together. Inhale, lift a little bit higher. And exhale, we'll roll gently all the way back down to our backs. Windshield wiper through the knees, sending the knees to the left and the right. And then we'll bring the knees back towards the ceiling. And then we'll send the soles of the feet towards the sky to find happy baby. Hands clasp the outsides of the feet. Knees reach towards the armpits. Actively pressing the soles of the feet into the hands. And then keep your right foot and right hand where they're at. We're going to release the left foot and send the left leg out long. Taking a half happy baby. You can let the left arm rest down by your side or bring the left hand to the top of the left hip. And whenever you're ready, we'll switch sides. So coming back through your happy baby, grabbing the outside of the left foot with the left hand, and then releasing the right foot, letting the right leg extend out long. Option to bring the right hand to the top of the right hip. After your final exhale, gently release the left foot, letting the left leg meet the right. Coming into final resting pose, Shavasana. So take a moment to adjust your position if you need. Maybe grab some layers. You can place a folded blanket or pillow underneath the knees. Arms rest down by the sides, palms face the sky. And just soften through the eyebrows, soften through the jaw. Shoulders, wrists, knees, and ankles melt towards the earth. And we'll gently release for Shavasana. Slowly start to deepen the breath. We'll wiggle through the fingers and the toes. Bend the knees, soles of the feet come to the mat. And let the knees fall to one side, making a pillow with your bottom arm. And whenever you're ready, we'll gently press back up to a comfortable seat. You can cross one ankle in front of the other. You might sit on the edge of a blanket. And we'll let the hands rest on top of the knees. Hands come to heart center. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed this class, and I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.